Hi guys, it's your favourite teacher here. Sorry, my hair's looking a bit windswept. I've just been to Sainsbury's. I'm going to carry on with Wonder. We are up to page 284, chapter, it's called Ducks. We don't have long left. The day before the last day of school, Mr. Tushman called me into his office to tell me they'd found the names of the 7th graders from the nature retreat. He read off a bunch of names that didn't mean anything to me, and then he said the last name, Edward Johnson. I nodded. You recognise the name? He said. They called him Eddie. Right, well, they found this in Edward's locker. He handed me what was left of my hearing aid headband. The right piece was completely gone and the left one was mangled. The band that connected the two, the Lobot part, was bent down the middle. His school wants to know if you're going to press charges, said Mr. Tushman. I looked at my hearing aid. No, I don't think so. I shrugged. I'm being fitted for new ones anyway. Why don't you talk about it with your parents tonight? I'll call your mum tomorrow and talk about it with her too. Would they go to jail? I asked. No, not jail. They'd probably go to juvie court, and maybe they'd learn their lesson that way. Trust me, that Eddie kid is not learning any lessons, I joked. He sat down behind his desk. Augie, why don't you sit down for a second? He said. I sat down. All the things on his desk were the same as when I first walked into his office last summer. The same mirrored cube, the same little globe floating in the air. That felt like ages ago. Hard to believe this year's almost over, huh? He said, almost like he was reading my mind. Yeah. Has it been a good year for you, Augie? Has it been okay? Yeah, it's been good, I nodded. I know academically it's been a great year for you. You're one of our top students. Congratulations on the high honour roll. Yeah, thanks, that's cool, I said. But I know it's had its share of ups and downs, he said, raising his eyebrows. Certainly that night at the nature reserve was one of the low points. Yeah, I nodded, but it was also kind of good too. In what way? Well, you know, how people stood up for me and stuff. That was pretty wonderful, he said, smiling. Yeah, I know in school things got a little hairy with Julian at times. I have to admit, he surprised me with that one. How do you know about that stuff? I asked him. Middle school directors have a way of knowing about a lot of stuff. Do you have, like, secret security cameras in the hallways? I joked. And microphones everywhere, he laughed. No, seriously? He laughed again. No, not seriously. Oh, but teachers know more than kids think. Augie, I wish you and Jack had come to speak to me about the mean notes that were left in your lockers. How do you know about that? I said. I'm telling you, middle school directors know all. It wasn't that big a deal, I answered. And we wrote notes too. He smiled. I don't know if it's public yet, he said, though it will be soon, but Julian Albans is not coming back to Beecher Prep next year. Yes. What? I said. I honestly couldn't hide how surprised I was. His parents don't think Beecher Prep is a good fit for him. Mr. Tushman continued, raising his shoulders. Wow, that's big news, I said. Yeah, I thought you should know. Then suddenly I noticed that the pumpkin portrait that used to be behind his desk was gone, and my drawing, my self-portrait as an animal, that I drew for the New Year art show was now framed and hanging behind his desk. Hey, that's mine, I pointed. Mr. Tushman turned around like he didn't know what I was talking about. Oh, yeah, that's right, he said, tapping his forehead. I've been meaning to show you this for months now. My self-portrait as a duck, I nodded. I love this piece, Augie, he said. When your art teacher showed it to me, I asked her if I could keep it for my wall. I hope that's okay with you. Oh, yeah, sure. What happened to the pumpkin portrait? It's right behind you. Oh, yeah, nice. I've been meaning to ask you since I hung this up, he said, looking at it. Why did you choose to represent yourself as a duck? What do you mean? I answered. That was the assignment. Yeah, but why a duck? He said. Is it safe to assume that it's because of the story of the duckling that turns into a swan? No, I laughed, shaking my head. It's because I think I look cool as a duck. Oh, said Mr. Tushman, his eyes opening wide. He started laughing. Really? Oh, here I was looking for symbolism and metaphors, and sometimes a duck is just a duck. Yeah, I guess, I said, not quite getting why he thought it was so funny. He laughed himself for a good 30 seconds. Anyway, Augie, thanks for chatting with me, he said finally. I just want you to know that it's truly a pleasure having you here at Beecher Prep, and I'm really looking forward to next year. He reached across the desk and we shook hands. See you tomorrow at graduation. See you tomorrow, Mr. Tushman. Next chapter, the last precept. This was written on Mr. Brown's chalkboard when we walked into English class for the last time. Mr. Brown's June precept. Just follow the day and reach for the sun is the polyphonic spree. Have a great summer vacation, Class 5B. It's been a great year and you've been a wonderful group of students. If you remember, please send me a postcard this summer with your personal precept. It can be something you've made up for yourself or something you've read somewhere that means something to you. If so, don't forget the attribution, please. Tell me who wrote it or said it. I really look forward to getting them. Tom Brown, 563 Sebastian Place, Bronx, New York. The drop-off, next chapter. The graduation ceremony was held in the Beecher Prep Upper School auditorium. It was only about a 15-minute walk from our house to the other campus building, but Dad drove me because I was all dressed up and had on new shiny black shoes that weren't broken in yet, and I didn't want my feet to hurt. Students were supposed to arrive at the auditorium an hour before the ceremony started, but we got there even earlier, so we sat in the car and waited. Dad turned on the CD player and our favourite song came on. We both smiled and started bobbing our heads to the music. Dad sang along with the song. Oh, I don't know the song. I'm going to try and sing it for you though. Andy would bicycle across town in the rain to bring you candy. Don't know that song. I bet Sophia does. Dad, does my hair look okay? I said. He smiled and nodded. Looks perfect, he said. You look great, Augie. Via put some gel in it this morning, I said, pulling down the sun visor and looking a little in the mirror. It doesn't look too puffy. No, it's very, very cool, Augie. I don't think you've ever had it this short before, have you? No, I got it cut yesterday. I think it makes me look more grown up, don't you? Definitely, he said, smiling, looking at me and nodding. But I'm the luckiest guy on the Lower East Side because I got wheels and you want to go for a ride. More song lyrics, I don't know. Look at you, Augie, he said, smiling from ear to ear. Look at you, so grown up and spiffy. I can't believe you're graduating from the 5th grade. I know, it's pretty awesome, right? I replied. It feels like just yesterday that you started. Remember I still had that Star Wars braid hanging from the back of my head. Oh my God, yeah, that's right, he said, rubbing his palm over his forehead. You hated that braid, didn't you, Dad? Hate is too strong a word, but I definitely didn't love it. You hated it. Come on, admit it, I teased. No, I didn't hate it, he smiled, shaking his head. But I will admit to hating that astronaut helmet you used to wear. Do you remember? The one Miranda gave me? Yeah, of course I remember. I used to wear that thing all the time. Good God, I hated that thing, he laughed, almost more to himself. I was so bummed when it got lost, I said. Oh, it didn't get lost, he answered casually. I threw it out. Wait, what? I said. I honestly didn't think I'd heard him right. Dad, I said, turning down volume. What? He said. You threw it out! He finally looked at my face and saw how mad I was. I couldn't believe he was being so matter-of-fact about the whole thing. I mean, to me, this was a major revelation, and he was acting like it was no big deal. Augie, I couldn't stand seeing that thing cover your face anymore, he said clumsily. Dad, I loved that helmet. It meant a lot to me. I was bummed beyond belief when it got lost. Don't you remember? Of course I remember, Augie, he said softly. Oh, Augie, don't be mad. I'm sorry. I just couldn't stand seeing you wear that thing on your head anymore, you know? I didn't think it was good for you. He was trying to look me in the eye, but I wouldn't look at him. Come on, Augie, please try to understand, he continued, putting his hand under my chin and tilting my face towards him. You were wearing that helmet all the time, and the real truth is that I miss seeing your face, Augie. I know you don't always love it, but you have to understand I love it. I love this face of yours, Augie, completely and passionately. And it kind of broke my heart that you were always covering it up. He was squinting at me like he really wanted me to understand. Does Mum know? I said. He opened his eyes wide. No way, are you kidding? She would have killed me. She tore the place apart looking for that helmet, Dad, I said. I mean, she spent like a week looking for it in every single closet, in the laundry room, everywhere. I know, he said, nodding. That's why she'd kill me. And then he looked at me, and something about his expression made me start laughing, which made him open his mouth wide like he'd just realised something. Wait a minute, Augie, he said, pointing his finger at me. You have to promise me you will never, ever tell Mummy anything about this. I smiled and rubbed my palms together like I was about to get very greedy. Let's see, I said, stroking my chin. I'll be wanting that new Xbox next month when it comes out. And I'll definitely be wanting my own car in about 6 years. A red Porsche would be really nice. And he started laughing. I love it when I'm the one who gets to make Dad laugh, since he's usually the funny man that gets everyone else laughing. Oh boy, he said, shaking his head. You really have grown up. The part of the song we used to love to sing the most started to play, and I turned up the volume. We both started singing. I literally do not know this song, but I'm going to try and sing it for you. I'm the ugliest guy on the Lower East Side, but I've got wheels and you want to go for a ride. Sorry guys, Google it. We always sang this part at the top of our lungs, trying to hold that last note as long as we could, and as long as the guy who sang the song, which always made us crack up. While we were laughing, we noticed Jack had arrived and was walking over to our car. I started to get out. Hold on, said Dad. I just want to make sure you've forgiven me, okay? Yes, I forgive you, Dad. He looked at me gratefully. Thank you. But don't ever throw anything else of mine out ever again without telling me. I promise. I opened the door and I got out just as Jack reached the car. Hey, Jack, I said. Hey, Augie. Hey, Mr. Pullman, said Jack. How you doing, Jack, said Dad. See you later, Dad, I said, closing the door. Good luck, guys, Dad called out, rolling down the front window. See you on the other side of 5th grade. We waved as he turned the ignition on and started to pull away, but then I ran over and he stopped the car. I put my head in the window so Jack wouldn't hear what I was saying. Can you guys not kiss me a lot after graduation? I asked him quietly. It's kind of embarrassing. I'll try my best, said Dad. Tell Mum too. I don't think she'll be able to resist, Augie, but I'll pass it along. Bye, dear old Dad. He smiled. Bye, my son. I'm going to stop there. More tomorrow.